like to invite you again back on stage. Right now we are looking at you with new eyes. Yeah? How did he get back? I was asking myself, like, 4 years old. At 4 years old, do you know how to speak?
Yes.
But do you know what the name? When someone asks you, what is the name? What is the name of your mother? Mom. What is the name of your father? Dad.
Well, not these days.
Not these days. Oh. Yeah.
I think.
But he is not of these days. You know, allow me to proudly say that Stephen is a kienyeji, like me. Yes, he's just like, you know, a kienyeji, I'm referring to someone who did not grow in the city. How many of us grew up in the city? Hello? Hello? Oh, so right here we only have one broiler over there. The rest of us are kienyeji, yeah? Kienyeji. So, one thing I've been asking myself, how did you get him back? How did you get him back? You know, that's the reason as to why I came up on stage. But that is food for thought, yeah? If we got back home, that's why we are here today. So I'd like to invite you back on stage one more time. Yes, and then you do your thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. All right.
Round of applause.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing that. So when you read the book, actually mention snippets of that. So, and maybe I'll start from there and then sort of give a short brief into the book and a bit of the writing process. Then we'll call it a day, and then we'll come back and unveil the book in itself. So that was one experience. I've had 4 near-death experiences. So when I was writing the book, when I started to write it, I started to recall the various experiences where I was very, very close to, going. And one of the other experiences was when I was in class 3, I remember. And I fell on the sewage. And it was, the sewage was going through a river. So I was hanging by the line, and I had slipped and fallen. And it's my other sister who really, struggled getting me back out. Really struggled, but eventually got out. But if I had gone into the water, I'd probably go, because I didn't know how to swim. Fresh boy in the city, you know how the city looks like. But yes. But these near-death experiences, when I started to write the book, and I started to mention them here and there in the book, they began to sort of reaffirm something, that I was here to make a difference. I was here to tell a story, and that there were some people in this world that were my responsibility, which was outside of my immediate environment, that I had to survive war. Because if 4 times you faced death and you came out of that alive and strong, then there must have been a reason why I was here. And then also looking back, when I started to write, that is 2017, that's when I actually started to write this book. I started to reflect back on, why am I here? I have a story, and a lot of people had begun asking me, how do I do this? How do I do that? Coming to me for advice. And I would naturally give it, and in my mind I thought that's how people are, that people would just, give advice and see things differently and offer insight. And I soon came to discover that that was not necessarily the case, and that it was a unique thing. And the more people began coming to me, asking me for things to do for them, the more I thought, maybe I should put it down in a book, so that the next time you come asking me something, I'd probably say, have you read my book? It's all there. So maybe start from there, and then we sort of continue. So part of the reason why I started then to write the book was really to document the first 25 years of my life, and to document the life experiences that I have had already, to document the lessons that I got from those life experiences, and also to document practical skills. Because one of the things that I really value, more than just superficial advice and motivation and this kind of talk that gets you up and high and ready to do things, is how do we actually do them? How do we actually start? How do we actually develop? How do we actually grow? If we are talking about mindsets, how do we actually start doing something today that ensures that we are able to translate what we've learned into action? And I remember when you reviewed the book the second time, you suggested a title change for the book. Because as you said, the book is more about life lessons and values. And you suggested a few titles. But I sort of came back to this title that ultimately what I want to share through this book is practical skills, that what we can use very practically to start today to be able to change our mindset, then to be able to change our skill set, then to be able to change the communities around us. And that is why the book is primarily named Practical Skills for Entrepreneurial Success. Now, the other thing that I think has really been important throughout my journey is the people I've met. And I'm an ambivert, so I'm a bit extroverted and a bit introverted, and sometimes, most of the times, I'm very, very selective with the kind of people I associate with, because I really value strong, diverse conversations and not just talking superficially. So I'm always very, very selective with the people that I met and engaged with. And I was so happy that the people that I've been able to identify as friends, as colleagues, as families, are people who I sort of value because they come from a very select cohort of people who are visionary, you guys, people who are entrepreneurial, people who want to do something more. And so people like you is who, again, really inspire me to then, continue being the optimist, the entrepreneur, and the visionary that I am. Because ultimately, when I go to the question and I ask it in the book is, who are you? And most of the people, when I ask them, who are you, they talk about their profession. And some of them, when I ask, who are you, they talk about their name. You are not your name, And so, once I started to think deeply about this question myself, then I found out that in defining yourself as a person is really goes down to what are the values you consider fundamental to who you are, but more than that, what do you see yourself and your contribution in this wave of cosmic energy that we call up? And so for myself, besides all the businesses or the enterprises that I've started, or the education that I have had, or sort of the awards and the titles that I've won, I ended up coming to the conclusion that I'm an optimist, that I want to see the future, and I want to see it brightly, and I want to see the sun shining, and the flowers blooming, and the people growing. That I'm an entrepreneur, that I want to create opportunities for people to contribute in enterprise and business, because in the marketplace, that is how my value is measured. And then I'm a visionary in the sense that I want to see, I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about long term. I'm always thinking about how are we going to engage long term? How are we going to create development long term? How are we going to transform the continent and ultimately ourselves in the long term? And so the question that I want to ask you today, and some of the answers to these questions are in the book, so that is the other reason why you need to read the book, is who are you as a person? Who really are you? And I believe when you begin to answer that question, and when you begin to understand the value of who we are as a person, and then tie it back to where I started, that we are what we repeatedly do, then you get to the conclusion, like Will Durant did, that excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Thank you.
Yes.
Till number buy goods, the till number is 761402. 761402. Guys, if 10 of you buy that book, my friend, we are good. 10 of us buy that book, my friend, we are good. And when you buy it, please go read it on your phone. One more time, the till number is 761402. Yeah? And if one book has been bought, I believe we've launched the book. Yeah? Has the book been bought? Yes. No, that is via cash. We have to buy, that is one. That is one. Now one for online. Yeah, one for online. Someone please buy the book. The till number once again is 761402. 402. After which, from now on, this is what is going to happen. Yeah? Since we did not have a ribbon to cut in order to launch the book, this is what we're going to do. After the vote of thanks and the closing prayer, we're going to gather here in front and take a photo together with the author. If you want your own photo, the author will be here. So what we will do, instead of having to launch it by cutting a ribbon, we will take photos and post them online in order to market the book, in order to get more clients and buy the book too. Remember, if you can, buy the book, yeah? Buy the book, yeah? One more time, guys, buy the book. So, and no one has bought the book by M-Pesa.
So we have, the book has been bought now. Ola is my, all right, let me do it nicely.
Yes.
So,
who is our first buyer online?
Right, so our first buyer online is Ola. And I'd like him to stand up for another reason. So Ola, stand up. All right. So, let me tell you a bit about Ola and how we relate with this friend of mine. So Ola is, you see us looking nice like this. Myself, where's Kevin? Kevin over there, Born over here. So Ola is a designer and he runs the House of Bemi. So when I travel everywhere, internationally, locally, at conferences, I always ensure that I'm representing Africa and I'm always dressed up in Africa and looking nice all the time. Ola is the one who does our clothes. And so and also back there you'll see the two banners for House of Bemi. That is the other side of me when I'm a model and not an entrepreneur. And that is also done by Ola. So thank you very much for being our first buyer.
Round of applause for Ola. If you look at me carefully, Ola, there's a business opportunity. This is not House of Bemi, but I can come to the house. Yeah? And a special shout out to Modo Wanyomba, man of the house. He's our DJ. In Gikoyo, Modo Wanyomba means person of the house. So that is our DJ over here. In case you guys haven't realized, I am touching on the vote of thanks because you're coming to the end of the program.